Welcome, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from deltacx.com. We're a full service CX and UX consultancy. We do projects, training, and consulting. So let me know if you need some help. And welcome. Every Friday, we do practicing critical thinking where you send me in stuff. How do you send in stuff? deltacx.com/links will tell you how to do it. And we put the stuff up. I've usually checked it ahead of time, and at least that it's okay for streaming. I don't usually read through it ahead of time, but we break it into pieces. We ask lots of critical thinking questions, and we want to know if whatever the heck we're looking at is meaningful, actionable, or helpful, and has any value or could be true. So before we jump in on the things I've received in the last week, let's of course say thank you to the people who are donating to the channel between $3 and $10 a month. Totally optional, but always appreciated. And so thanks to our mid-level and senior low ego action heroes. There's a junior level too, but too many names for me to put up and keep track of. So thanks to everybody for keeping me in streaming software and delicious chocolate chips. I want to apologize. This is going to be the first day that I'm sharing my screen since reformatting my computer, and I have lots of Slack notifications and other things popping up, and you're just going to see them. So the sausage being made. So let me flip over to my screen where I've got all of the things you've sent in ready for action. And let's press all the right buttons. Let's see. Oh, praying for buttons. How about this one? Is that the right button? Yes. Okay, super. So this is a private browser, the chat room, tip jar, me. I can't see the overlay, so if anything goes off, I can't see it. Thank you very much. Someone sent me this quiz. What UX UI job best suits your personality and your work style? We actually filled this out on another show, and when we got to the end, it wanted our email address to tell us the results, and that's when we abandoned. No, thank you. So I'm not going to fill this out again, and I'm not going to give them my email address to learn what best suits me, because I thought the questions were kind of terrible. So please don't use a quiz like this to try to determine what your skill set or right career is. This is not a reliable way to learn these things. Okay, let's look at the next one. This is a, hey Steph, happy Friday to you. This is an article from about almost 2.5 years ago. It says, are you sure you want to do this? Microcopy for confirmation dialogues. And this is from someone I don't know, and says she's a microcopy expert and UX writer. So good, hopefully this will be some good information. Let's see what the advice is. Reconfirm versus undo. Sometimes we can give users credit for knowing what they're doing, and other times an undo functionality is better than a confirmation box. This normally comes in the form of a toast message. If you're not familiar with what that is, a toast message comes up, hangs around for some number of seconds, and goes away, popping up like toast, and then going down. So we've seen this in a lot of Google products, like deleting a calendar event, things in Gmail. So this one is pretty typical. When do you want a confirmation box versus an undo toast? Reversibility. When users are going to take an irreversible action, like permanently deleting an option with an item with no option to restore it, or sending a report that can't be changed, we should ask them if they're sure or if they understand what's about to happen. Totally agree. Also good for accessibility. You don't want anyone to have misunderstood something or clicked the wrong button or tabbed to the wrong thing and then find out they can't undo what they've just done. So certainly agree. Severity. When users take an action that will result in critical consequences or maybe system-wide long-term repercussions, stop and ask them if that's what they intended to do. Super agree. Yeah, so far this is a great article. I'm going to have to give it 5 dogs out of 5. I would have to agree with this. Complexity. When users are about to take an action that will result in complex consequences, for example, affecting the configuration of devices, we should pop up a message. We give the users the opportunity to read, consider, understand. Sure. Frequency. Frequent actions like managing emails quickly become annoying if users are asked to reconfirm every step. Okay, so it seems like the first three are good reasons to have the pop-up or dialog box saying, are you sure you want to do this, or whatever's the right wording. That's not always the right wording. And then the fourth one says, hey, if this is something people are going to do a lot, like deleting an email, you might not want to say every time, are you sure? Yeah, let's see. This is a very long article, so I'm not going to make it through all of this, but I get the feeling that this person generally has some good advice and seems to be an expert. So I'm just going to kind of give this one a preliminary thumbs up, knowing I didn't read the whole article, but I like the way the article starts. I think she's got some good points. So hopefully the rest of the article continues and is a good, helpful thing. Thanks to the person who sent it. It's so rare that we get something that's actually good here. Next, we've got Marketunist, Competitor Myopia Cartoon. Let's just pass all the keywords and see. Market share is falling in this cartoon, and someone, I guess a white guy in a tie, is saying if we can't beat them, copy them, but not as well, and later to market. Also gets a rim shot there. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Craig. That is certainly very common. So, you know, even Apple does that. People think, oh, Apple's so innovative. And the funny thing is that Apple is very rarely the first to market with something. They typically let Samsung and others bring it to market first, take a year or two to see how the public reacts, iron out the bugs, and then Apple brings out their version, acts like it was innovative, but it's really just something someone else innovated, and Apple makes their own version. So this is actually also true, not always, but often for Apple. Okay, here's a guy I'm not going to be able to pronounce, but he had one of the few posts earlier in the week that did not like Dynamic Island, and I thought it'd be fun to look at the other side of things because so many people were like, Dynamic Island is the best UI I've ever seen in my life, I can die now. And I like that he started right out with, Dynamic Island is hot garbage. That caught my eye. That was well done. So here's his 7 reasons why. Number 1, you can't reach it with one hand. Okay, that's true. In general, you can't reach top of the screen notifications with one hand anyway. So I keep wondering when we're going to put hamburger menus and notifications and important things at the bottom of the screen. I don't know why we're not doing that yet. Number 2, you have to long hold to expand, which means he's guessing, 95% of users will never see the expanded version. Otherwise, it just opens the app. Deep linking never works. Now, I don't know if we can say never works or 95%. These are probably not accurate. They're probably inflated or inflammatory. But I think we should think critically about the idea that you have to long hold to expand this, because that means that I have to, now I don't have an iPhone, I have a Samsung S21 Ultra, but that means that I have to take my phone and say I'm holding it with one hand, as I do with my pop socket. I can get to the top of my phone because of where I've placed my pop socket, and I do have kind of strangely large hands for my height. But yeah, in general, people are not going to be able to reach up that high, and if you have to long press something up there, they're going to have to do a two-handed thing to get a finger or thumb up there. This is going to present all kinds of accessibility problems and usability problems, and maybe you're just holding a bag of groceries and you have one hand, so not the best. Number 3, another way for apps to compete for your attention and distract from the thing you wanted to do every time you dare to look at your phone. Sure, notifications are already a distraction. My Samsung, again, not sponsored, has some nice options for me where I can either show very minimal notifications, I can show larger notifications with previews of stuff, and I've set it for the larger ones with previews so I can see if the notification is worth chasing. But that's my choice, and Samsung gives me that choice, and I like that. Or maybe it's built into Android, I don't remember. Let's see, number 4, another set of toggles to flip to control who and why can use the space. Okay, Number 5, every phone has a notch or a punch hole now. No need to brag about it. Yeah, sure. Here's my Samsung S21 Ultra with my screen that helps me run the show. And I've got a camera right in the middle of the top bar with the phone and stuff. Pierre Mario says, call Lauren. So that's my boyfriend, or I should say soon-to-be husband, and that is his code word for we don't agree. So, honey, you love the dynamic island? I guess he has headphones on. He'll hear that in 40 seconds. So anyway, number 6, every notch disappeared from user consciousness. What? You're late. You're okay. I was talking to you and you didn't hear it till 40 seconds later. You're watching me. Thank you. That's so sweet. He's like 20 feet, not even 15 feet that way. I agree with his number 6 point that for the most part, the notch disappeared from our consciousness. It's up there. We stopped thinking about it. Why are we drawing attention to it? Steph says, soon to be husband. I missed the info. Now, we've been engaged for how long? We've been engaged at least a year. 2 years? I think we've been engaged 2 years. We were going to get married like next week, but with COVID and everything, we've moved it. So I'm sorry it was news to you. I usually call him my boyfriend, but yeah. Elvina says, husband. Well, okay, I guess I forgot to tell everybody. Sorry. Okay. By the way, again, all of my Slack and Discord notifications are going off. I haven't adjusted my stuff yet. If you would like to join our Slack or Discord, it is completely free. There's no membership or annual fee. Just go to deltacx.com/links and you can join our Slack and or our Discord. And of course, the name Dynamic Island. Yeah, super cheese if you ask me. All right, next one. Tom Scott on LinkedIn. I think I blocked him 2 years ago, maybe more. So this is not somebody I'm interested in and not somebody I agree with. So he says, it's never been easier to study to be a UX designer. Hold on there. So let's qualify that. Is it easy to study? Sure. It's easy to study. Is it easy to find good information? Not so much. Is it easy to become a UX designer and land your first job? No. No, it's the worst time I've ever seen in my entire life for people to try to get their first job. If you have not gotten your first job already, the door is mostly closed. I'm fighting as much as I can. But what is the point of this? Let's see what his point is. Is he selling us something? I don't even know. There are many courses out there, sure, but many of them suck. I don't understand why there are more boot camps popping up. Oh, have you not heard of capitalism? I think the industry needs more courses. Wait, I don't understand why there are more boot camps, but we need more boot camps. What? What? I mean, I didn't drink anything before this show, but I should have. I think the industry needs more courses, boot camps, and guidance for senior lead and principal, how to be a design manager, design exec training. This all exists. This is out there already. Hi, Melanie. This is out there. Do we really need another course to teach people to draw wires? I say it's easy to get into UX, but not get a job. What? What? I don't even think I have the right graphic for the mountain of poop that this post is. Sorry that Dr. Nick fell for it there, because that just amplifies him in the algorithm. So remember, when you see stuff like this, don't click like, don't respond. Feel free to disagree with me. It's just baiting. It's just baiting so that you will bump him in the algorithm. So, don't fall for that stuff. Don't fall for do you agree or disagree with me. Hey, Terrence. Hi, Manuel. Steph says, oh, we need more boot camps because money. Steph says, I think he says we need more boot camps for seniors. Issue is that seniors understand that most of the boot camps are now awesome. Not awesome. Yeah. I don't know what he's shooting for here. I think he calls himself a recruiter. I don't know anyone who's been placed by him. Maybe he's good at what he does, but you know, I can't tell you. So it sounds like he's saying, we do need education. We don't need education. Go find education. You might need education. I don't have that education. And it's easy to study. And it's easy to get into UX, but it's not easy to get a job, and I've got nothing for you here. So I don't, you know, I blocked him a couple of years ago. You can follow him if you'd like, but I just find him to have nothing of substance or quality. Nothing is meaningful, actionable, helpful. What am I supposed to do now that I've read this? And the courses he says he wants are out there. So it sounds like he didn't Google that first, which is just sad. All right, let's move on. This is another Medium article from Canvs. I don't know how to pronounce that. Canvs editorial. Oh, Janice says, I like your earrings. Hi, these are permanently in my head. They're the same every day, but thank you. All right. Endowed progress effect. Give your users a head start. All right, let's see what this is about. You can get a free appetizer at TGI Fridays if you join their rewards program. I earn a point for each dollar spent. I get a free dish. I have a head start. This is the endowed progress effect. Group A, given cards with 10 slots, 2 already stamped out. Given cards with 8 slots, none stamped out, so essentially you have the same progress. 34% of Group A redeemed their cards, 19% of Group B. Both cases had to make 8 purchases. Yes. Yeah, Key Wolf says canvas, but with fewer vowels, so it's hip, right? They're going to say it's spelled Raymond Luxury Yacht, but it's pronounced Throat Wobbler Mangrove. Let's see who in the audience is a Monty Python fan. Oh, somebody else sent me Zygarnik Effect. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So somebody must have been on a real adventure to learn more about this. So I think that this effect can make sense. If people start to feel like they're making some progress, they might feel inspired to make continued progress. But I would also hypothesize, and I'm no expert in this and I haven't studied it, but my guess is that this would probably be truer for people who are extrinsically motivated than intrinsically motivated. Because as an intrinsically motivated person, whenever I see these gamification things and little tricky things, I never fall for them. I can't think of a time when I have. Maybe I'll think of one and I'll share it and go, ooh, that one worked. But I am not sure that would make any difference. But I think it's also the reason why, if you've ever posted a notice up at like a community place or a telephone pole and it had your phone number or something on the bottom, you ripped off the first one to make it look like someone was interested in this. Same effect, I would say. So yeah, I think this can be a thing, but I would imagine it doesn't work for everybody. It probably has to do with people's sense of what motivates them, and we would hopefully learn that through some generative research, which tends to focus on behaviors and tasks. Next, a UX magazine article on design thinking with Yoda. Didn't we see this one already? Does someone remember? I know we saw a couple of UX magazine articles that I was sad about, because I usually think of them as picking some good things. Did we do this one already? And I have to admit that whenever I see these things, I don't even want to read them at all. For example, when everybody was, remember all those articles that were like, what you can learn about UX design from Squid Game. And it's like, so I have to admit that when I see this stuff, I just assume clickbait and keywordy SEO stuff to get design thinking in there, and Tim Brown and Yoda and all this stuff. And again, what can I do? Because this is a bunch of Yoda quotes and how we're going to tie it back to design thinking. Pass, 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 pass. I'm just going to assume that's a very long bio. Send your shorter bio. Is my bio that long? Oh my. Maybe you need to relay out the page so it's wider and doesn't look so long. Hi, I-10, have you been? Yeah, so I'm not interested in this article because I don't need to know how you can associate quotes from Yoda with design thinking. I'm assuming I'm going to miss something really juicy in here that would make me set off fire and whatever, but, you know, the greatest teacher failure is. Well, that's design thinking right there. It's a failure. Yeah, so pass. Don't even want to look at it. All right, next. Wow. Reject all. Sure. Okay, usertesting.com, a company I haven't been able to afford in about 10 years. And they are saying Subway plus user testing. Now, I guess it's cool again to talk about Subway. Americans, help me out here. Subway was pretty disgraced for a while, and you did not want to talk about them. But let's talk about them. If you're not familiar with Subway, it's a chain of sandwich shops. And basically, if you can imagine the cheapest, most flavorless sandwich in the world, that would be Subway. So clearly this is not sponsored. I'm not recommending user testing or Subway sandwiches. So let's take a look at what user testing is claiming to be a case study. Subway is huge in Korea as of late. Okay, I'm sorry. Good luck. All right. So, okay, increase loyalty program enrollments. More OBLE. Okay, well, okay, what's the challenge? Let's start at the beginning. This was starting the story at the end, but I recognize that's exciting to see these things. Fine. Subway needed to evaluate the effectiveness of personalization in digital ordering. Subway corporate needed to pitch these insights to the franchise owners. They can't just tell the franchise owners what to do? All right. Subway, user testing enabled Subway to conduct video interviews with over 800 customers. I'd like to know how many researchers worked on that. Oh, I'm sorry, they're unmoderated tests. Okay. Unmoderated tests designed to uncover a large number of qual insights, variances in customer expectations, and personalization requirements needed to build a winning digital ordering experience on mobile devices. A qual-quant hybrid. I would still like to know how many researchers were watching 800 unmoderated test videos. Steph says, yeah, they created some kind of cheesy soap opera viral videos with people falling in love with Subways. It's interesting because they utilized Korea's advertisement laws to inject themselves into K-dramas. Got it. Outcomes. Okay, so if this were your portfolio, I'm not sure I would interview you because I feel like I'm missing too much of the story. I don't know what your process was. I don't know how many people worked on this. And I just feel like it's, hey, we did 800 of these things and stuff went great. But, you know, here this guy is saying, wow, we turned insight into action. How? Oh, it's over. Okay, so what were the insights and how did you turn them into action? I feel like I'm missing the meat of the story. I feel like the story has elements that sound impressive. Ooh, more loyalty. Ooh, higher app ratings. But how are you sure that those are tied to this initiative? Because this initiative says it's about personalization during ordering. Why would that change the loyalty program enrollments? Did they tie personalization to the loyalty program? Could you not personalize unless you created a loyalty account? So that forced people to do that? I don't know. Yeah, Melanie says, was the goal to get franchises to adopt the personalization feature? I don't see how the franchises had a choice here, and it sounds like everything they changed was in the app. So why would, I don't even know how that changed anything in the store itself. It's half a story. Participating stores saw rapid improvements ranging from a 10x increase in loyalty program enrollments to increased 4- and 5-star mobile app reviews to higher percentages of orders received from mobile devices. Sounds good, but you know, any of that is only as good as the research you planned and the research you executed and how it was analyzed and then how you took action on that. I wish I knew more about that. Lovro says, sounds messy. Probably pure marketing. It's half a story. Melanie says, because they're franchise owners, Subway's the parent owner, franchisees don't get the option to opt in. Right, so if they don't get the option to opt in, just tell them what they're doing. So I bet Subway does that all the time. Steph says, I don't get why this is published on user testing like it's some kind of, look, they did this research using our tool case study. Yeah, but we don't really have a sense of how they did the research, how many people did the research, how long did it take? What if this research project took a year? I can think of a zillion people who have agile somewhere in their job title who will completely fall over and cry because we don't want to spend a year researching. Like, I wish I knew more pieces of this. I'm only partially impressed by this because it's like, we did a thing and it turned out well. And I'm like, whoa, wait, how? So, yeah, don't know. And then more people, more Zygarnik. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Why is it hard to leave things incomplete? We remember better that which is unfinished or incomplete. The tendency to experience, intrusive thoughts about an object that was once pursued and left incomplete. Well, let's ask you. You're not a representative sample of anything necessarily, but hey, people in the audience, do you find that you are thinking more about something that is incomplete or an unfinished goal? I think this just sounds logical. This does sound like natural human behavior. That we think more about the thing that we have not finished or worked on or taken care of yet than the things that we did take care of. So, yeah, that sounds logical. But then how do we bring that back into research or design? So this is going to be the history of the effect, and it's a good method. Oh, that's it. It's a good method to trick users into making things they wouldn't do otherwise. LinkedIn uses this trick to make you complete your profile. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Hey. This went fast. Here's an interesting question. If we give people a progress bar and said you completed 28 out of 92 things, is that necessarily this effect? Yes? No? Sometimes? I10 says notifications. Yeah, I can see that for notifications. Like, there's a piece of information for you. You haven't seen it yet. Something isn't complete. You have an incomplete task. I think we can bring some Larry stuff into this and think about a task that isn't complete or maybe has barely started. Elvina says, if something was important to me from the beginning and I didn't complete it, yes, it would bother me. Obviously. Yeah, this does sound like something that might have been exciting when this was first discovered or described, but I think now a lot of us take this as, yep, true. Yeah, hungry people want food, and people who haven't finished a thing think about the unfinished thing. Yeah, Key Wolf is right. Trick feels like a yucky word. I agree. I don't want to trick people. I mean, maybe this example we have on the screen of an online course is trying to inspire you to finish it, not trick you into finishing it. Maybe you paid for it, and the instructor doesn't care if you do any of it. I don't know. So I would say this is something we can employ, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a trick. Be careful once you are using tricks. Melanie says, depends on the value of the unfinished tasks for me. Lovro says, people just wanted a sandwich. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm in the Subway app. I'm going to order a sandwich. I think you're back on the previous screen. So I think the article is not that strong. I think a better article might have given a lot more examples of where this effect is used, whatever the author thinks is using it well or using it poorly. Because I don't want to say that a progress bar is necessarily a trick. We use progress bars all the time. We think they're helpful and informative and give people a sense of how much they've accomplished and what there is still left to do, whether or not they are deeply motivated by the undone thing. I know when I take some surveys and I finish the first page and it says I'm 1% done, I am demotivated. I don't care about the unfinished thing. That can go straight to hell. So yeah, I think that's it for today. So let's use one of my cheesy 1980s fades. There we go. Yeah, I recently rediscovered those in vMix, and now I'm having just too much fun with them, like this one. Yeah. So 80s, maybe even 70s. Anybody have any thoughts or comments before we wrap up for today? I'm going to take a look at our schedule and tell you what shows are coming up while you ask me things. By the way, I'm doing an Ask Me Anything tomorrow with UXRS. That might not be exciting to those of you in my audience here, since I do an Ask Me Anything every week, but you can always join me there. I've seen some of the questions already, and they are uncommon for the ones we normally get here, so that'll be nice. All right, lots of shows next week. I'm thinking about changing Monday's show to a little bit more about what Acture can do, but I also wonder if I've already done that. So there might not be a Monday show if nobody sends anything for Think Out Loud. If you have something for Think Out Loud, please send it to deltacx.com/links. Tuesday is double office hours. I'll be doing 10 a.m. Italy time and 6:30 p.m. Italy time. And 6:30 p.m. Italy time, we're going to have a special guest. You may have seen him here before. John N.A. Brown is going to be back, and he's going to become a recurring guest on our office hours. I think, I know I really enjoyed working with him, and I think everybody liked his very intelligent and thorough answers. So we'll be seeing him on Tuesday, September 20th. Wednesday the 21st, hopefully we've got Jan, who's going to talk about service design. I need to check with him that Wednesday is still good for him. Let's see, Thursday, no show. It looks like I've got a coaching call. If you would like to have a coaching call with me, you can schedule that. Follow the link at deltacx.com/links. Everybody gets a free half hour. After that, it is paid. But if you need to talk to me privately, you can. Otherwise, just find me in Slack or Discord or LinkedIn and ask me your questions. I answer short questions for free. And then, of course, circling right back around to next Friday, which would have been our wedding day but got postponed a year for Critical Thinking Stream. We're postponing the Italy version to next year, and there might be a surprise sneaky America version in early 2023. So if you are curious about how you can attend that party, make sure you're in the Slack and the Discord, because if that gets scheduled, there might be a way for you to attend the wedding party. Though I might have to charge a small amount of money because I have no job and I just can't throw a party for everyone who's going to show up. So there might be a small entry ticket price, but I will do my best to make it fair. Janice says, woo, exciting stuff on the calendar. Yeah, let me see the week after that if I have anything cooking. Wednesday the 28th. Oh, Wednesday the 28th, a friend of the show who I'm going to talk to after this show. She came up with a neat PowerPoint that she was just showing me 2 days ago. And she's going to come on and show us her ideas. And I thought they were neat. So, hey, if that's you, if you are a friend of the show and you have some ideas that you want to share, and you've got something to talk about or a PowerPoint, let me know. We can check it out, and if I like it, it'll be scheduled. And then I do have lots of things scheduled for October. Let's see, October 5th, we're going to have Jen Clinahans. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, from Choice Hacking. They're very grateful to her for joining. Wednesday, October 12th, Michelle Ronson will be back to talk about the importance of recruiting in research. And then after that's the Concentric Conference, which you definitely want to sign up for before I cancel things because there aren't enough sign-ups. So come on, sign up. That's deltacx/concentric. Alrighty. And let's see. All right. So I think I'm going to play us out of here. And thanks to everybody for joining for a short but fun Friday critical thinking stream. I hope everybody will have a safe and healthy weekend. And I will catch you all, if not Monday, twice on Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Customer centricity as business intelligence. Visit deltacx.com to learn why we are